Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Blueprint News. I'm Avinash Raj Singh, and you're watching U.S. Election Blueprint 2024.
As we stand on the brink of the 2024 U.S. presidential election, the spotlight is shining on all 50 pivotal battleground states.
From Alabama to Wyoming,
in these states, the voices of millions of Americans resonate, their hopes, fears, and aspirations shaping the future of our nation. Voter sentiments are fluctuating, and diverse political issues are emerging, all of which will likely determine the election's outcome. With tight polling margins in each of these critical areas, the race remains fiercely competitive, reflecting the ever-changing dynamics of voter preferences across the country. In this video, we bring you the latest 538 election projection
as of October 2024.
According to 538's news agency map projection, we will explore the landscape of these battlegrounds. Will Kamala Harris hold her lead, or can Donald Trump pull off a comeback? Let's dive into the state-by-state breakdown and examine the tightest races that are shaping this election, because every vote matters and every voice deserves to be heard.
In Washington, Kamala Harris is leading comfortably with a margin of 19.6 points. The vote share shows Harris securing 59.8%, while Trump trails behind with 40.2%. Washington continues to be a stronghold for Democrats in this projection. Moving to Oregon, Harris holds a 14-point lead over Trump. Harris commands 57% of the vote, compared to Trump's 43%. The state remains reliably blue, with Harris gaining solid support. In California, Harris enjoys a massive lead of over 25 points. Her vote share is nearly 63%, while Trump holds about 37%. As Harris's home state, California continues to show overwhelming support for the Democratic candidate. Arizona is witnessing a tight race with Trump leading by just under 2 points. Trump secures around 51% of the vote, narrowly edging out Harris at about 49%. This state could become a key battleground in the final stretch of the election. In Nevada, Harris maintains a narrow lead of less than 1 point. Harris stands at just over 50%, while Trump is close behind with slightly less than 50%. The race here is highly competitive, with both candidates vying for every vote. Utah remains a Republican stronghold, with Trump leading by just over 20 points. Trump commands just over 60% of the vote, while Harris manages nearly 40%. The state stays firmly red, showing consistent GOP support. Trump dominates in Idaho with a lead of over 32 points. 66% of voters back Trump, while Harris holds nearly 34%. Idaho remains solidly conservative.
In Montana, Trump enjoys a lead of 17 points. Trump captures 58.5% of the vote, compared to Harris's 41.5%. The GOP continues to dominate this region. Wyoming gives Trump a commanding lead of nearly 44.7 points. 72.4% of the state's voters support Trump, while Harris receives only about 27.7%. Wyoming is one of Trump's strongest states in this election.
Harris has a comfortable lead of nearly 12 points. Harris secures nearly 56%, while Trump trails with just under 44%. The state shows consistent Democratic trends. New Mexico tilts towards Harris, with a lead of almost 8 points. Harris gains just under 54%, while Trump stands at about 46%. This state remains in the Democratic column. Texas stays in the Republican camp, with Trump leading by just over 6 points. Trump captures a little over 53%, while Harris follows at nearly 47%. Texas continues to be a crucial battleground for Republicans.
Oklahoma solidly backs Trump with a lead of over 33 points. Nearly 67% of voters support Trump, while Harris has just over 33%. The state remains deeply red. In Kansas, Donald Trump leads Kamala Harris by a solid margin of 16 points. Trump holds 58% of the vote share, compared to Harris's 42%. With this substantial lead, Kansas continues to show strong support for the former president in the upcoming election. Trump holds a massive lead of over 54 points in Nebraska's 3rd district. 77% of voters favor Trump, with Harris securing only about 23%. This is one of Trump's strongest performances across the nation. Nebraska's 2nd district leans towards Harris with a lead of almost 7 points. 53% back Harris, while Trump gets about 47%. This district has been a competitive area in recent elections. Trump leads in Nebraska's 1st district by about 17 points. 58% of the vote goes to Trump, with Harris receiving nearly 42%. The district stays reliably Republican. South Dakota favors Trump with a lead of nearly 28 points. 64% of voters support Trump, while Harris holds about 36%. The state remains firmly Republican. North Dakota shows a lead of over 32 points for Trump. 66% of the vote goes to Trump, while Harris garners about 34%. A clear red state in this election. Minnesota supports Harris with a margin of over 6 points. 53% vote for Harris, while Trump follows at nearly 47%. The state remains in the Democratic camp. Trump leads Iowa by over 8 points. 54% support Trump, while nearly 46% back Harris. Iowa stays in the Republican column. Missouri favors Trump with a lead of just over 13 points. 57% of voters support Trump, while Harris holds about 43%. The state remains strongly Republican. Trump leads Arkansas by nearly 28 points. 64% of the vote goes to Trump, while Harris takes just over 36%. Arkansas remains a deep red state. In Louisiana, Trump secures a lead of nearly 20 points over Harris. The vote share shows Trump with just under 60%, while Harris holds a little over 40%. Louisiana remains deeply red in this election cycle. Trump leads by nearly 18 points in Mississippi. The vote share shows Trump with about 59%, while Harris stands at just over 41%. Mississippi continues to show strong Republican support. In Alabama, Trump holds a lead of nearly 27 points. The vote share shows Trump with just over 63%, while Harris stands at nearly 37%. Alabama stays firmly in the GOP column. Trump leads Tennessee by just over 23 points. The vote share shows Trump with nearly 62%, while Harris holds just over 38%. Tennessee reinforces its Republican stronghold status. Kentucky gives Trump a lead of 27 points. The vote share shows Trump with nearly 64%, while Harris holds just over 36%. The state remains deeply aligned with the GOP. Trump leads Indiana by over 16 points. The vote share shows Trump with 58%, while Harris holds just under 42%. Indiana stays comfortably Republican. Harris takes Illinois with a lead of over 15 points. The vote share shows Harris with nearly 58%, while Trump stands at just over 42%. Illinois remains a Democratic stronghold. A close race in Wisconsin sees Harris leading by less than 1 point. The vote share shows Harris with just over 50%, while Trump follows closely with just under 50%. Wisconsin stays competitive, leaning Democratic. Harris narrowly wins Michigan by 1 point. The vote share shows Harris with just over 50%, while Trump holds just under 50%. Michigan proves to be a critical battleground. Trump holds Ohio with a lead of nearly 8 points. The vote share shows Trump with nearly 54%, while Harris holds just over 46%. Ohio stays comfortably Republican. Harris edges out Trump in Pennsylvania by less than 1 point. The vote share shows Harris with just over 50%, while Trump stands at just under 50%. A key battleground win for Harris. Harris commands a lead of nearly 17 points in New York. The vote share shows Harris with nearly 58%, while Trump holds just over 41%. New York remains solidly blue. Harris secures a lead of over 34 points in Vermont. The vote share shows Harris with over 67%, while Trump holds just under 33%. Vermont remains firmly Democratic. Harris leads by nearly 7 points in New Hampshire. The vote share shows Harris with over 53%, while Trump stands at nearly 47%. The state shows a clear preference for Harris. Trump wins by just over 6 points in Maine's 2nd district. The vote share shows Trump with just over 53%, while Harris stands at nearly 47%. The 2nd district favors Trump once again. Harris takes Maine's 1st district with a lead of nearly 23 points. The vote share shows Harris with over 61%, while Trump holds just under 39%. Maine's 1st district remains reliably Democratic. Harris enjoys a lead of nearly 30 points in Massachusetts. The vote share shows Harris with nearly 65%, while Trump holds just over 35%. The state stays deeply blue. Harris secures Rhode Island by 17 points. The vote share shows Harris with just over 58%, while Trump holds just under 42%. Rhode Island remains in the Democratic camp. Harris leads Connecticut by over 18 points. The vote share shows Harris with just over 59%, while Trump stands at nearly 41%. The state continues to favor Democrats. Harris holds a lead of 14 points in New Jersey. The vote share shows Harris with 57%, while Trump stands at 43%. New Jersey stays in the blue column. Harris wins Delaware with a lead of over 17 points. The vote share shows Harris with nearly 59%, while Trump holds just over 41%. Delaware remains a safe state for Democrats. Harris dominates Maryland by nearly 30 points. The vote share shows Harris with nearly 65%, while Trump holds just over 35%. Maryland stays solidly blue. Trump leads West Virginia by nearly 40 points. The vote share shows Trump with nearly 70%, while Harris holds just over 30%. West Virginia remains one of Trump's strongest states. Harris wins Virginia with a lead of just over 8 points. The vote share shows Harris with just over 54%, while Trump stands at nearly 46%. Virginia remains in the Democratic column. Trump holds a narrow lead of less than 1 point in North Carolina. The vote share shows Trump with just over 50%, while Harris stands at just under 50%. North Carolina proves to be a tight battleground. Trump leads by nearly 13 points in South Carolina. The vote share shows Trump with just over 56%, while Harris holds just under 44%. The state stays comfortably Republican. Trump edges out Harris by nearly 2 points in Georgia. The vote share shows Trump with nearly 51%, while Harris stands at about 49%. Georgia continues to be hotly contested. Trump holds a lead of 5 points in Florida. The vote share shows Trump with just over 52%, while Harris follows at just under 48%. Florida remains a key battleground for Republicans. Trump secures Alaska with a lead of just over 9 points. The vote share shows Trump with nearly 55%, while Harris holds just over 45%. Alaska stays Republican. Harris wins Hawaii by 28 points. The vote share shows Harris with 64%, while Trump holds 36%. Hawaii remains deeply blue.
That's the latest forecast from 538's projection map. Do you agree with these predictions, or do you expect a different result on election day? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you found this breakdown useful, please like, share, and subscribe to today's Blueprint News for more election insights. Stay connected, and we'll see you in the next update. Thanks for watching.